On today's motorcycle therapy update, we're going to tell you all about our latest adventure.
We left Uruguay and we managed to get ourselves back to Canada, but we had to go from Uruguay to Spain, and then Portugal, and then Canada.
Yeah, we're in Canada now. We're in quarantine in my friend's garage. That's mandatory for travelers arriving back in Canada.
What else is in this garage with you, Jeremy?
Well, I don't have my normal motorcycle, but fortunately I have my old 1982 Honda CB750 Custom. I don't know if it's going to start, but I'll give it a try, and I'll do that at the end of the video. But for right now, let's pick up where we left off, in Uruguay. So here we are in Montevideo, Uruguay, at the harbor. One of these containers over there you can see across the water has our bikes in them. We're shipping them home to Canada. Oh, wait a second. No, this isn't the harbor. This is just, that's just a window.
Well, in order to get down to the harbor, we had to ride our bikes, and guess whose bike wouldn't start this day?
Yeah, it's no mystery. It's easy to guess whose bike didn't start. I've been having problems starting my KLR ever since I got that kind of crappy battery in Peru.
Well, I've got lots of practice at towing now, and I'm glad I brought that paracord all the way from Canada. In fact, you've even towed me one time, haven't you?
Yeah, we're actually getting pretty good at pull starting my motorcycle. This is us riding through Montevideo. This is the final stretch.
The last ride in South America.
Yep, we're just about to hit the office of the shipping agent where we'll finish our paperwork. I'm filling out paperwork to ship my motorcycle from Uruguay to Canada.
Lots of paper. So with paperwork out of the way, we rode all the way up to the port to load our bikes.
Yeah, it was just around the corner. I guess this is technically the last motorcycle ride we did in South America.
A little bit exciting, a little bit sad.
A little bit sad. And here we are taking our bikes apart a little bit to disconnect our batteries. My battery was a piece of garbage anyway, so it didn't make my bike any different at all.
And we had to make sure our tanks were almost empty, so we've been riding around on reserve to get here.
That's right.
Then all we have to do is throw them inside the container.
Well, that's the nice thing about this company is that we don't have to use crates. So we were able to keep our luggage all intact, and I was able to ship my guitar home as well.
And my jacket and helmet are in that bag, waiting for me to pick it up again. I gotta push my bike in.
I'm with you.
Power, so it's all us.
Let's go.
So into the container we go. It was kind of a gloomy container, and I felt bad for my bike for having to stay in there for, about 6 weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be in there for about 6 weeks, but my motorcycle is in there too to keep it company.
Okay, that helps me feel better.
I remember you said you wanted to decorate the inside of the container to make your bike feel better.
Yeah, like at least put up a poster or something for her to look at the whole time she's stuck in there.
That made me happy when you said that.
I felt sad leaving my bike.
Yeah, and here they are closing up the container, and they seal it.
Yep.
They picked it up after they did this, and they give it a little bit of a shake. I showed you that in the last video.
And then you'll see the machine that they use to pick them up here. Yeah.
They basically load these things, stack them up, and put them onto ships. That was it. Goodbye, motorcycles.
So with our bikes out of the way, you'd think the worst is over, but there's still so much paperwork to do in order to get us back to Canada. Different flights through different countries at different times, each with different requirements, including getting a negative COVID test.
Yeah, traveling in times like these of COVID-19, it's a bit stressful, it's a bit strange. Enter Dr. Midnight.
I'm nervous.
¿Por qué?
Because my mama told me that she had a test and they stuck it so far in her nose it felt like they were hitting her brain.
Yeah. Why are you getting tested?
Because I want to go on an airplane and then I can't get to Canada without going to Spain and Portugal. And Portugal requires a test.
Mm-hmm. But you're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kidding about the Dr. Midnight comment. It wasn't midnight when this guy came over, and he was definitely not a doctor. But we did have to get a negative COVID test, and Uruguay has this great service. You have to pay for it, of course, but they come to your house and they test you there. We could have done a drive-by testing, but we were on motorcycles, and anyway, we shipped our motorcycles away. So this guy made a house call. We suited him up with PPE. Elle helped him tie his gown shut, and then the testing began.
Ugh. Ugh. It still hurts. Like, I mean, it's not painful, but it sure ain't comfortable.
No.
You know when you get water up your nose and it feels like it goes into your brain? Yeah, it's right this side. And this side, I swear, it went down my throat. Like, I could feel it. This one went up and this one went down.
Yeah, and then it was my turn. Elle was not kidding when she said it felt like they poked her in the brain. They do shove these swabs way up in there. I guess they've got to do that to get an accurate reading. Little did I know that Dr. Midnight here was hamming for the camera while Elle was filming.
How's that feel, Jeremy?
Elle,
Hi.
we did it.
We did it, yep. We got the thing done, and now we wait. So much of this process has been about waiting. Waiting to hear from when the shippers are going to accept our bikes. Waiting for a container to be ready. Waiting to get our tests. Waiting for the results of our tests now. So...
Of course, each of us handles waiting in our own special way. It was kind of a strange time for us, and there were many mixed emotions. Happy that we figured out shipping for our motorcycles, happy that we had our flights booked, but sad that our South American motorcycle adventure was drawing to a close. The day of our flight home began just like every other day. I got up, I made breakfast, usually fry some eggs, then I annoy Elle while she's eating breakfast, and then, on this day, we got a ride to the airport. Thanks to the motorcycle community, they were very helpful all along the way, and one of our motorcycle friends in Uruguay drove us to the airport. This was going to be a long journey home, and it was just beginning.
Is this how it's going to be for the full 48 hours?
We're just starting, Jeremy. It's going to get worse.
And here's actual footage of Elle and I boarding the plane. Just kidding, this is a little cartoon that YouTube sent me when I hit 500 subscribers. I wonder what happens when I hit 1,000.
What are you doing right now, Jeremy?
Quickly sending Brian a grocery list so he can shop for us for our quarantine.
Woohoo! What are some things we're asking for?
Well, dark chocolate, good cheese,
Oh.
instant coffee,
When's the last time you had good cheese?
peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Haven't had peanut butter since I don't know when. So long.
Now, we alluded to this earlier in the video, but let's talk about our strange flight plan. To get to Canada from Uruguay, normally we would fly through Brazil and then the States and then Canada. But because of all the restrictions due to COVID-19, we had to fly from Uruguay to Spain to Portugal and then to Canada. It was grueling and it was bananas.
Where are we, Jeremy?
We're in Spain.
Tired. We just crossed the Atlantic Ocean on a long and uncomfortable flight.
Yeah.
And now what we're going to do next?
Yeah.
Turn around and cross the Atlantic Ocean on a long and uncomfortable flight.
Yeah, transatlantic flights are uncomfortable at the best of times, but these days even more so. You have to keep your mask on the entire time, even when you're sleeping. You can only take them off for moments when you eat or drink.
I think I paid more for these 3 items from the vending machine than I did for my KLR 650.
Off to Portugal? Yeah, I mean, off to Portugal, great. I guess that's exciting. I had never been before, but this isn't exactly how I wanted to see it. And besides, we didn't see much of anything. All we saw was the airport. We didn't even cross through security. So, we tried to catch up on a rest because we had another big flight ahead of us. Elle caught some shut-eye in the food court. I lay down on the floor for a little bit and I got some video editing done. And then it was time for another flight to another continent.
After a little bit of rest, we tried putting Jeremy's musical talents to use. See if we could pay for those vending machine snacks we had. But there was nobody coming close enough to drop any money in that case.
We are on flight number 3 of 4. Any idea how many hours we've been at this so far?
It's been 36 hours maybe? No, a little bit less than that.
It's been more than 24. We're
Yep.
on day 2.
Yep.
How much sleep have you had?
Well, I don't know. I've been dozing off and on, and I slept on the floor of the airport.
Yeah, you
kind
did.
of more passed out than slept, really.
Yeah, you
Didn't-
snored within like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was gone. I changed masks.
I got a new mask too. I switched out because I figured the same mask after 24 hours ought to be changed. How
She
do you like
made
my new
that.
mask?
She made it. I like her more every day. These masks are a real safety concern. But I'm wearing it correctly, right? It's supposed to cover your nose and your mouth. Check. And check.
Well, for flight 3 out of 4, we're getting there. We're going back across the Atlantic Ocean, and this time we'll actually arrive in our home country of Canada, but there's still one more flight after this one.
Yep. There's only so many movies you can watch, too.
And you can't watch them all. I fell asleep through half of them.
Yep.
This time we're landing in Toronto, but we're getting there just before midnight.
Boom! We are in Canada. We're at least on the right continent in the right country now.
This airport's pretty quiet, hey Jeremy?
There's nobody here.
Here's Elle. In this photo, she looks exactly how I feel.
Are you using the low vision mode kiosk on purpose, Jeremy?
The low vision one.
Yeah.
I didn't. No.
You're at the old man kiosk.
What? No. Oh well, good thing.
With my blurry eyes and blurry brain, it took a lot longer checking in for the flight than I anticipated, and after that, Elle and I decided we needed to try to get a little bit of sleep. We didn't have much for options, though.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
So tired.
This is our bedroom.
Well, tonight it is. Where are we now?
I'm eating, so I'm not masked up right now. We are in Toronto, and we are heading to Calgary. Final flight.
Flight number 4 of 4. How many hours have we been at this now?
I don't know.
Where did you sleep last night, Jeremy?
On the floor. I put some jackets down on the ground, and I slept there on the floor.
You did better than I did. I slept on the floor too, but I couldn't. My hips hurt, my back hurt, so after about 4:30 in the morning I got up, and I've been awake since then. Looking forward to a real bed and a real shower. Jeremy, we shut off the very last flight of 4 flights over 48 hours in 3 continents.
Hey, a motorcycle therapy shirt came to meet us at the airport with a Brian Bailey inside.
Yeah, Brian and my sister came too.
Such kind folks we have in our lives.
That was the most awkward airport pickup ever because we haven't seen these people in a year. We love these people and they love us, but cannot touch, cannot go close. Weird.
Yes.
Well, the feels are starting to hit.
What are you talking about?
I'm happy to be home. I love Alberta and Calgary, but the trip is done. Like, it's been done for a few months now. We've known that, but it's real now, and I'm a little overclamped.
Hey, we're in a private vehicle with just me and you. We can take our masks off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Woo!
Woo! That feels good. Feels good, good, good. This is our quarantine home. This little door. We've got our own little suite. It's not much, but it is enough, and we can self-isolate there.
It's way better than I was thinking it was gonna be.
It's so good. The thing about quarantining with Brian Bailey is you have to sometimes chase chickens out of your house. Get out, you chicken! Stay out!
This is your official COVID beard trim.
Yeah. Ow! So I'm ripping my hair out more than I am trimming it.
You're naked!
Yeah, now to get rid of this COVID cut once I'm out of quarantine. And remember that 82 Honda I told you about? Well, it's been in Brian Bailey's garage for the past year when we've been in South America. We're sleeping with it now. I'm working on it, but still.
I'm bored.
I'm bored. I'm bored too.
And boredom can make you do some weird things. And now it's time to see if this old motorcycle fires up.
How long has this motorcycle been sitting and waiting for you?
About 3 years. It hasn't run for 3 years.
And you charge the battery?
I charged the battery.
And you change the oil?
I changed the oil.
And you put in a little bit of gas?
I put in some fresh gas and I replaced a fuse that I blew. That was the main problem years ago. So let's see if it starts.
All right.
It'll start. It'll start. It'll start. It'll start.
There we go. There we go.
Ah, yes. All right.
Thanks for watching. Click like, click subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.